Today I will be beating Dark Souls in its entirety, all side bosses and DLC, while not being able to level up my character, so we stay at level 1 the whole time. And you know what? It's not as bad as you might expect. So if you do enjoy this video, if you don't mind liking and subscribing, it would be much appreciated, thank you. Oh, and also this will be a melee build, as since Pyromancy doesn't scale with stats, it can be overpowered at any level. So none of that cheese here, just straight up melee. But with that out of the way, let's get straight into the run. So we pick the Pyromancer class since it's the only one that actually starts at level 1, and then we take the Master Key because there is literally no reason to take anything else. We make light work of the Asylum Demon, and then off we go. The main goal early on is to get the necessary items and equipment for the run. For that, we will be getting all the souls we can find in Firelink. Getting this Firekeeper soul is also a bit scary, but we make it through, and then narrowly avoid the Drakes to get the red Tearstone ring. We risk our lives to parry the Black Knight to get his, well, there's no reason to be fair, just thought it'd be cool, but we do get the Grasscrest shield. After chopping some trees and a few more souls, we get to the Undead Parish. We head on through the shortcut back to Firelink, and then we're heading over to the Undead Merchant to get the weapon of choice for the beginning of the game, the Reinforced Club. Then it's back to Andre to upgrade it to +5, ready to take on the Bell Gargoyles. The Reinforced Club is very useful as it staggers the gargoyles on every second attack. That combined with cutting the Garg's tail off gets us plenty of time in for our attacks. Now, trust me, here was all a part of my plan to set up Red Tearstone ring so we can deal with the second gargoyle with ease. It may have looked close, but don't worry, it was all clearly intentional. 1 second, Lautrec. Bear with me, you'll be off the cliff in no time. We equipped the Ring of Favour and Protection, giving us a bit more health, stamina, and higher equipped load, which is massively helpful. However, if we take it off, it breaks permanently. Next, we head down to Blighttown, and here I debate getting the bonfire, since if we do die to Quelaag, then we have to make the trip from Firelink all over again. But you know what? After doing a literal no-hit of the game, I should not be scared of Quelaag of all bosses. Uh-oh, this is not good. Got a bit risky, but we thankfully get past her, ringing the second bell, and before heading into Sen's Funhouse, we will just take out Ceaseless, where we just punch his hand until he falls to his death. Before Sen's though, this guy gives us the flip ring very generously, and then we sprint past everything through Sen's Fortress so we can face the Iron Golem. I can never consistently get him to fall off, so we just resort to the tried and true technique of smacking his most valuable asset repeatedly. A few more hits on his ankle and he goes down. We make it through into Anor Londo and get the Symbol of Avarice to help set up Red Tearstone ring and to get some extra souls, even though it wasn't beneficial once since we always have a surplus of them anyway. But we use these souls we have to get the Twinkling Titanite required to upgrade our main weapon for the run, and unfortunately to acquire this, we need to get rid of our good friend, the Giant Blacksmith. I'm sorry, this is nothing personal, you just have a really good hammer. And that leads us to Ornstein and Smo, and they are difficult enough leveled, and then when you factor in stuff like this, it all adds up to a not so good time. However, with good RNG, patience, as well as the hammer staggering every second hit, just like the club, the first phase is over. Super Smo on his own is a piece of cake. It seems he really enjoys doing this move, but we just get one hit in at a time and then he also goes down. We then get the Lord Vessel, and the next task is the Catacombs to take on Pinwheel. Haha, what a joke of a boss. Holy Jesus, that was close. We get lucky as we get the Mask of the Child for the stamina regen, and now that we are over the halfway point of the game, it is now time to go back and clear up the early game bosses, starting with the Capra Demon. This fight can go a whole number of ways. No, please, not like this. But with this damage, we can take it down very quick. So long, Capra Demon. May I not see you for a long, long time. We use the key to head into the depths to take on the next boss, the Gaping Dragon. I always seem to forget to kill this caster up top, and it just makes everything so much more annoying. Thankfully, Gaping Dragon takes a life age to do his attack, as well as his recovery time. You okay, buddy? So he goes down very comfortably. God damn it, this jump will forever be impossible to me. Next up is the Taurus Demon. He is weak to lightning, so he gets absolutely deleted in 2 hits. You know, it really doesn't feel like level 1 yet anyway. And now it's time for the Darkroot Gardens to take on its 2 bosses. First up is the Moonlight Butterfly. Any day now. Come on, I'm not getting any younger here. finally, and goodbye. Sif is up next. We use the no-hit strategy of waiting on his running attack, but since when you miss an attack it has a longer animation, it throws off the roll timing, so we unfortunately die. We make our way back. Well, I clearly wasn't paying attention. We get back again and put Sif down, which is always a very sad moment. After Sif, we head on down to kill the Hydra to grant us access to the DLC later, and then we kindle the Firelink bonfire to get the 20 Estus flasks, which is complete overkill, and then afterwards we take a trip back to the Undead Asylum so we can take on the Stray Demon, which is just Asylum Demon, but this one loves to spam AoEs instead. We just wait for its attack to be done and then we can punish with our own hit, rinse and repeat. We get the painted doll because now we're heading back to Anor Londo. Gwendolyn is up first, and he has a really unique ability of always sucking no matter what challenge you're implementing. Thankfully he is not hard though. Straight after we head into the painted world so we can take on Priscilla. This is a great spot as we get to avoid 80% of the level by dropping from a distance that looks like you should die with even 99 health, no idea how this is possible. And after getting steamrolled by some bone wheels we can make our way to the boss fight. So she is obviously invisible at the start, and she becomes visible when you have to hit her a few times or have done enough damage. Or so I thought. Turns out it's poise damage that makes her reveal herself, which I apparently was doing none of, so I was thinking she must be either incredibly resistant to lightning, or just the damage was terrible. But then the last attack lands, and she dies without revealing herself once. Okay then, Priscilla, I have no idea what happened, but you are dead, and that's all that matters. Now it's time to head back into the catacombs. We trade the Skull Lantern with the crows to get the Ring of Fog, as with Nito there are skeletons in the arena as well that we don't want to deal with. Problem is, you normally use the Ring of Fog and the Slumbering Dragon Crest to negate sound and visibility, but seeing as we can only use one ring, it doesn't work as well. The skeletons get aggroed, so we have to try and be greedy to try and take him down before his AoE, but that doesn't go to plan. We try be more hidden in this next attempt, which fails again. Thankfully Nito does friendly fire to the skeletons, so it's not too bad. With some crowd control and patience, Nito goes down. And from there we head over to the Demon Fire Sage, a rip-off of a rip-off. Get out of here, you unoriginal waste of space. Centipede Demon is right after. This guy's telegraphing is so weird since his body is so large and such a strange shape, but after some smacks to his feet, he's done. We unlock the shortcut to get to the Bed of Chaos, because screw going through Lost Izalith. We use the only strategy anyone should ever do for this abomination, and swiftly move on to the Duke's Archives. After doing the elevator skip, we make our way into the Crystal Caves to take on Seath. With the combination of the Red Tearstone Ring and Seath's vulnerability to lightning, he is dead in seconds. Oh damn, sorry ladies, I'll see myself out. Once we drain the water in New Londo, it's time for the Four Kings. We really don't want the projectile attacks, as we aren't doing enough damage to outlast them and get rid of one of the kings before another spawns. Well, that is a questionable hitbox. Seriously, that's some Dark Souls 2 stuff right there. Here we are able to balance between the king's attacks and the projectiles, so we can put him down. And with the Four Kings finished, we are on to the final boss. However, we just have to make a quick stop to kill some bosses in the DLC, and boy oh boy does the difficulty completely change. The bosses all have a larger moveset, are more aggressive, and of course do a lot more damage, starting with the Sanctuary Guardian. This is probably a top 3 hardest boss in the game. Lightning projectiles can be difficult to dodge even with the flip ring, and it has some really fast close range attacks that can kill you quickly. But making use of the stagger of the hammer, as well as waiting for specific moves, we are eventually able to take it down. Man, this was not making me hopeful for the bosses to come. However, next up we have Knight Artorias, and although he has a very special place in my heart, the fight itself really isn't that bad. He doesn't follow up a lot of his attacks, making it easy to get your own hit in. We can also do enough damage to stagger him out of his transitions. We take our punish windows and he goes down without too much trouble. Next we talk to Goth so he can help us out with our little Kalameet problem, and then he just goes and no-scopes Kalameet while he can't even see for his helmet, by the way. What a guy. This allows us to now head over to his arena and take him on. Kalameet was honestly the most fun to fight at level 1. Seeing as you are in the fight longer, you naturally have to get better and learn more, and that's exactly what you have to do with him. He has a lot of punishable moves, notably his dark fire breath thing, although his whole body is a hitbox, which is problematic to say the least, as he likes to dash around a lot. It was a lengthy encounter, but with enough resilience and 12 Estus flasks later, we take him down. And finally, to finish the DLC, we head into the Abyss to take on Manus, the objectively best boss in the game. I feel he doesn't get the credit he deserves. He looks crazy, the arena is cool, and he is very aggressive, especially for DS1. It didn't start all that well with Manus. He does a ton of damage and is absolutely relentless, so I took the executive decision to set a save state at the boss fog, since the run back, although not awful, just adds to the time invested, plus it did seem like we'd be here for a little while. He adds dark magic in his second phase. The cloud one he does is the most scary, since you need to be far enough away, but the more attempts it took, the more I was learning the fight, and a lot of his slam attacks leave plenty of time for my own heavy attack. So we take it one hit at a time, avoiding the magic where needed, and to be fair, only 30 minutes of attempts in, he goes down. And with that, it is now time for the Lord of Sunlight himself. We take off the Ring of Favour in exchange for the Hornet Ring to deal more critical damage, and we use the good old classic of parrying Gwyn to his death. Bit of an odd decision to make the climax of the game the only parryable boss, but oh well. With the Red Tearstone Ring and great timing, we execute 5 parries back to back, and down goes Gwyn. And with that, we have completed the entirety of Dark Souls at level 1. It didn't truly get much difficult until the DLC, which is to be expected, I suppose. It does show that no matter what build, you can beat these games with enough determination and patience. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and with that, I will see you in the next one.